ফ্লোরিডা বাংলা টেলিভিশন, প্রবাসে আপনার পাশে।
সবাইকে সুস্বাগতম। আমরা আছি এফবিটিভি লাইভে। আমাদের সাথে আজকে আমাদের যে গেস্ট সে ইতিমধ্যে জয়েন করবেন। আমি সুমন সিরাজি আজকের এই অনুষ্ঠানটি, এই আলোচনাতে অনুষ্ঠানটি পরিচালনা করব। আমাদের যে গেস্ট তার নাম আমাদের এই ফ্লোরিডা, সাউথ ফ্লোরিডার মধ্যে খুব প্রচলিত এবং খুব পরিচিত মুখ। সে হচ্ছে হেলথ ইন্স্যুরেন্সের বিশেষজ্ঞ। সে হচ্ছে মিস্টার ব্রুস এস গ্রিন। একটু আগেই আমরা জাস্ট এই টেকনিক্যাল যে বিষয়গুলো ছিল সে শেষ করলাম। তো I would like to introduce you Mr. Bruce S. Green and welcome to the show of FBTV Live, which is a discussion about the upcoming enrollment, health insurance enrollment in United States is coming in very soon. So we would like to thank FBTV to making an arrangement for this discussion, and welcome to FBTV Live, Mr. Bruce S. Green.
My pleasure. Pleasure to be here. Thank you, Sumon.
No problem. We've been working actually a long time. I know Mr. Bruce Green almost 5 years, more than 5 years, and in the previous interview, Mr. Bruce Green came to FBTV and explained how he came into the Bangladeshi community and served so many folks in our community. And the health insurance is a very serious matters in the United States. And when Obamacare came in, how you have explained everything and get involved with the community and others, it was very helpful. So there, based on this upcoming enrollment thing, we made a bunch of questions. Actually, we made it ready to discuss with you how it's going to be, what kind of changes coming in, and also our viewers have so many questions also regarding this situation coming in. The most important thing is that we all know that COVID-19, which is coronavirus, it is still existing and it's spreading more and more. So in this situation, health insurance is a very, very important thing. So first, I would like to ask you a first question, because we have so many questions and we might get more questions also, that when does the open enrollment start, Mr. Bruce Green?
Yes, sir. Open enrollment starts November 1st through December 15th of 2020 for an effective date of January 1st, 2020. So actually we have 6 weeks to get everyone enrolled so they'll have insurance for 2021.
So even though it starts from November 1st, which is what you have said, like 45 days pretty much. So till December 15 is the time people have to sign up for the Obamacare, and the coverage starts from January 1st, 2021 to December 31st of 2021. So it is আমাদের বাংলাদেশি ভিউয়ার্সের জন্য এটা আমরা খুবই জরুরি। এই সময়ের মধ্যে, এই যে 45 দিন সময়, এই সময়ের মধ্যেই আমাদেরকে হেলথ ইন্স্যুরেন্স সাইন আপ করতে হবে। তো ইটস টাইম লিমিট খুবই খুবই কম সময়, কারণ এখানে মিলিয়নস অফ পিপল, অনেক নতুন, অনেকে অলরেডি আছে এক্সিস্টিং, কিন্তু তাদের নতুন করে অ্যাপ্লাই করতে হয়। তো সময়টা অনলি November 1st থেকে December 15th. So as you have explained the date and all these things, because one question is related to the others. The next question I have it, are your service, like how you provide the service, is that service are free? All the services are free?
Yes. I don't charge for any service I do within the community. I'm actually an elite plus broker. There's only a handful of us throughout the country. I was awarded that recognition from Washington, D.C. for the amount of clients I have and for the amount of very few problems within my clients. So there is no charge. It would be the same if somebody was going to do their own application on their own. The only difference is, since I'm so well experienced and I have special tools to use, especially since I'm an Elite Plus broker, I'm always making sure that my clients get the best plan for the best cost.
Very good. So viewers, আপনাদের জন্য আমি বলছি, কারণ মিস্টার ব্রুস গ্রিন, if even though he's been serving in South Florida, but he has clients throughout the Florida, as far as I know, Tampa, Port St. Lucie, Orlando, pretty much everywhere, whole state actually he's been serving. So আমাদের মধ্যে অনেক বাংলাদেশি, আমাদের যে বাংলাদেশি কমিউনিটি, তাদের জন্য জানানো যাচ্ছে যে তার যে সার্ভিসটা হয় হেলথ ইন্স্যুরেন্সের ক্ষেত্রে, ইটস টোটালি ফ্রি অফ কস্ট। আমরা জানি মোস্ট অফ দ্য টাইম, অনেক সময় আমরা তার কাছ থেকে জানতে চাই what is his fees, how much he's going to charge. As he explained, he does not charge anything for enrolling the health insurance or this process. So the next question, how do people can get in touch with you if they want to apply as a new customer or your existing customer? So how they can get in touch with you?
It's very easy. My email address is my name, bg@brucesgreen.com. But it'd be easier for someone to contact me. My phone number, I answer the phone 7 days a week, morning to night. And I'm able to do the whole state of Florida because I have an online application. So I would send a link, they fill out the application online, and then I process everything, I enroll them, and it's a very easy transition.
Excellent. So as you have mentioned, so email address, what do you have it as far as I know, last 2-3 years, so many people actually get into through your apps or in computer apps. You have it, you fill it out, the application name, phone number, those things. So that's it's related with your website, I believe, that email address you gave us, website you gave us.
Secure application, so everything is very private. And then once I get the application, I call the client, I go over it, I make sure there are no mistakes, there's no errors. So once we enroll, it's a very clean process. And the most important thing is, I know what the marketplace is asking for. So what I do is, when I do a client, and let's say they have a green card, they never have to send in their green cards. I know what information they need. I do it when I enroll them in the application, and it's all done. Same thing with the work permits or certificate of naturalization or income, whatever it is.
Actually, that was my one of the question was like that. Actually, how do they submit? Because a lot of time, as you know, and we've been worked before also, I'm a tax professional. So many times they get letters that their documents have to be submitted to the marketplace or somewhere else. So they get confused. Sometimes they want us to help them for the agent. So who does this? Who submit these documents, like natural certificate of naturalizations or all other documents? Who submit those?
Well, as I said, a lot of my clients won't ever have to because I know the information they're looking for. So in my application, I give them the information. If something feels inaccurate and the marketplace asks my client for the information, I rather than not mail it in, because most of the mail gets lost once it hits there, then the customer ends up losing their subsidy, which we'll talk about after. So it's a very easy process. They just email it to me. I have a direct line. I upload it. I get a confirmation that they received it, and everything's good.
Very good. So the thing is that, so if you are saying this thing, so there's a question actually I was going to ask. This is a little funny for me, this way, that how do you differentiate like from the other broker? So how, if we choose you as our broker, so how do you differentiate yourself from other brokers?
Well, first of all, since I'm an Elite Plus broker, when I deal with the insurance companies, I don't call a normal customer service. They have a team for me, and they're there just to help me my things. But the biggest thing more than anything else is like what I said in the past. I don't just enroll someone and then not answer the phone. This is a partnership from when I enroll you all the way through the end of the year. I don't want you to have to, in the middle of the year, get letters from the marketplace, not know what to do. First thing I want you to do is call me, Bruce, I got this letter, and I will take care of everything. And yes, free of charge.
I do have, I do like to tell you that, we are on Facebook Live, even though for the streaming purpose or somehow it didn't show at the beginning a little bit actually, but it's showing. So we might gonna get some online question also. I might have to interrupt sometime, and sometime I might going to ask you a question from online if someone have any questions regarding the open enrollment. But discussing all this thing, if you if
If you
like
want,
this thing happens a lot. I'm sorry.
no, feel free if you want to translate at any time.
Sure, definitely. As as I've discussed with you how to submit the documents, it covers actually the whole thing you have your answer. And after 2-3 questions, I will explain in Bengali also. So what's the next question I have? It if somebody somehow, it happens many times that if you don't enroll in a plan by December 15th, which is a limit, what happens? What happens that if someone missed the date to apply for it?
Very good question. It's not missing the date, but we have a special enrollment. And in order to qualify for a special enrollment, let's say that someone just moved here from Bangladesh and they moved here in February. They'll get a special enrollment because they weren't here during open enrollment. They have to exercise that special enrollment within 60 days. After 60 days, they no longer can do it. But sometimes the special enrollments can be a little tricky. So the best thing to do, contact me. I know exactly how to do it. I qualify them. I'm able to get them special enrollment most of the times for the first of the month after we do it. They'll have an effective plan in force.
So what you have just told us that if somehow someone is moving from different states or even from different states or out of country, and then after December 15th also, and they contact you, they can be under the special enrollment. So what about the Medicare or Medicaid patients? They're also same. It works.
Yes. Well, what happens is if, let's say somebody was on Medicaid, doesn't even have to be Medicaid, it could be any insurance. Let's say somebody was working for a company that gave insurance. They're working for IBM, and then they got laid off, and they no longer have insurance. That would trigger a special enrollment. And the same way, let's say someone, give me an example, how Medicaid works, and this is all just through experience. If someone gets pregnant, they automatically go to Medicaid. Then once the baby's born, 3 months after the baby's born, they get taken off of Medicaid. That would trigger a special enrollment. Then I can put them back on the plan.
So a pregnant woman, when after the 3 months of her pregnancy, giving the birth, so they have to apply for the special enrollment, or is automatically they have to?
Oh, no,
it's Obamacare get enrolled.
Sorry, no, you have to apply. That's what. Call me, and I will take care of everything.
And when they become, they concept the baby, or they find out that they're pregnant, so they at that time they automatically to get transferred to Medicaid.
No.
Or they have to apply for that. Okay.
Call me. I'll actually amend the application, and that's when they'll go to Medicaid if they choose.
It's a very important question just came in online. If someone, thank you, Mr. Shahin Sumon Bishyash, he just asked a very important question, which is actually my next question supposed to be. If someone lost their job, how they can apply for health insurance?
Simple. If they lose their job, they lose insurance, they qualify for a special enrollment. They have to do it within 60 days of losing their insurance through work. Once, what I would suggest, if you already know that when your insurance is going to end, give me a call. I can go in, and this way we can make sure they never have a lapse of insurance. I want that when their insurance ends, I want the new insurance to start. I never want someone to go around with no insurance.
Since you have explained this thing, let me just explain in Bengali. Viewers, আপনাদের জানাতে যাচ্ছি, very important একটি কোশ্চেন ছিল যে কেউ যদি ডিসেম্বর 15 তারিখের পরে এনরোল করতে চায়, দ্যাটস কনসিডার অ্যাজ এ স্পেশাল এনরোলমেন্ট। তার জন্য এজেন্ট বা ব্রোকার তাদের কাছে যখন আপনি স্পেশাল এনরোলমেন্টের জন্য অ্যাপ্লিকেশন করবেন, উইদিন 60 ডেজ কেউ যদি জব চাকরি চলে যায়, 60 ডেজের মধ্যে তাদেরকে ওবামা কেয়ারের জন্য অ্যাপ্লাই করতে হবে, এবং দ্যাট হ্যাজ টু বি ডান থ্রু দিস এনি এজেন্ট, তাদের অ্যাপ্লাই করতে হবে, বাট মেক শিওর দ্যাট 60 ডেজের মধ্যে। তো আই হ্যাভ regarding this, Mr. Bruce, I would like to ask you one more question. Because of this pandemic, a lot of people are under unemployment, and it's a, all we know, this is temporary. So for those unemployment people, they have a insurance through their job, and if they don't want to join if they want to get a new job, or they are doing something else, not continue the job, they are also same way, they have to apply for the Obamacare insurance as a special enrollment. Am I right?
Yeah, just so you know, how you qualify is by household income, and unemployment and the subsidy is considered income. You would know more than that than me, Shimon, doing taxes. So just the unemployment or the stimulus check would help them qualify for Obamacare.
Actually, we're gonna come that those important parts, I'm gonna come there. I will explain them. It's just for the viewers to explain how this thing can be worked, because this is the time actually people will face so many problems in the upcoming year, because of this pandemic situation going on. So the next question I have it, which is for Obamacare, what happens if you have a pre-existing condition, and please explain this situation, explain this also.
Okay. In order for an insurance company to be on the marketplace, it has to go by the Affordable Care Act. The Affordable Care Act was signed into a federal act by President Obama in 2010. What that says is there's no longer pre-existing when it comes to insurance. So what does that mean? If someone has diabetes, or God forbid someone has cancer, they're going to pay the same premium as someone that's 100% healthy. There's no such thing as pre-existing. Everything will be covered. I will not sell a product where pre-existing is all covered.
So basically, what you have explained, let me explain in Bengali, because also যাদের ডায়াবেটিস বা অ্যাজমা বলতে পারেন, এরকম প্রি এক্সিস্টিং কন্ডিশন থাকলে আগে ইন্স্যুরেন্স পেতে বেশ বেগ পেতে হতো, কিন্তু ওবামা কেয়ার অ্যাক্টের মাধ্যমে এটা প্রি এক্সিস্টিং কন্ডিশন থাকা সত্ত্বেও যে কেউ ইন্স্যুরেন্স পেতে পারে। যদিও একটি 2 বছর আগে চেঞ্জ হয়ে গেছে, সেটা হচ্ছে যে ম্যান্ডেট, যে ইন্স্যুরেন্স না থাকলে যে ফাইনটা থাকতো, সেটা এখন আর এক্সিস্ট করছে না। বাট প্রি এক্সিস্টিং কন্ডিশন এটাও কোনো সময় প্রযোজ্য না ওবামা কেয়ার ক্ষেত্রে। এনিবডি ক্যান গেট দেয়ার হেলথ ইন্স্যুরেন্স এই বিষয়ে। তো মিস্টার ব্রুস, থ্যাংক ইউ ফর দিস এক্সপ্লেনিং দিস থিং, this question. Now I would like to ask you, it's also related, a little bit related with this, how does ACA, which is Obama Affordable Care Act, subsides work, and who qualifies for the reduced premiums and cost sharing? So basically, how this thing works to apply for it?
Yeah, it works by, it's called the federal poverty level. So it goes by your household income. So what happens is the government has two structures that they're going to do. So if you have a very low income, the government feels you can't afford not only the premium, but you might not be able to afford the co-payments. So what the government does is the first thing is called a subsidy. The subsidy subsidizes the premium. 95% of all my clients pay less than $20 a month, even though their insurance could be 50, the family of four, some of them are over $2,000 a month. Okay? That's what we call a subsidy. It subsidizes the premium, lowers the premium. If the premium was $1,000 a month, the government pays $980. The customer pays $20. Then the second part is called cost sharing. It's exactly what it sounds like. Cost sharing. The government is going to share the cost with you. If your income is very low, your cost sharing is very low. If your income is high, then you're paying more. So what the cost sharing does is, to give you an example, if the deductible is $6,000 and someone's only making $13,000 a year and it's a single person, their deductible will be zero. Most of my plans, most of the people have a zero deductible, zero for the primary, or $5 for the specialist. Then you have what they call an out-of-pocket max. So if someone has a zero deductible, okay, God forbid they go to the hospital, and it's an 80-20 plan, that means the customer is responsible for 20%, the insurance company 80%. But they'll have a maximum out of pocket. So if the maximum out of pocket is $1,000, means the customer is going to get charged 20%, insurance company 80%. Once the customer reaches $1,000, and that's throughout the whole year, that's with all her other payments, the insurance company pays 100%. I don't care if the bill was $1 million. That person will never pay a penny more than $1,000 in that given year.
Thank you so much. Actually, as you know, I'm a tax professional and you do the health insurance. Every year, end of the year, when they get the form, tax form, which is N95A, and as a tax professional, we have to fill out the 8962 once. A lot of time, because Obamacare, how it works, we have to tell them a year before how much approximately we're going to make for the following year. Suppose 2021, we have to estimate that we might going to make X amount or X amount. If we, based on that amount, the premium decided based on the amount. So ভিউয়ারদের বাংলায় বলতে যাচ্ছি এই ব্যাপারে যে ওবামা কেয়ারে যেটা হয় যে বেসড অন ইওর the following year, the 2021 এ আপনি কি কত টাকা মেক করতে পারেন আপনার ফ্যামিলি হাউসহোল্ড, এই one thing he mentioned is household income, which is husband, wife. Suppose a family of 4, husband and wife are making 10,000, 10,000, 20,000, and the dependent also making another 10,000. So it's a combination of all income to decide your premium. And end of the year যখন আমরা ট্যাক্স ফাইলিংটা করা হয় 8962, what it does যে আপনি যেই ইনকামের কথা বলেছিলেন আইআরএস মার্কেট প্লেসের কাছে, আপনার ইনকাম যদি বেশি হয়ে যায় তাহলে হয়তো আপনাকে ট্যাক্সের ইয়েতে ফেস আউট করা আছে 300, 600, 1200 এভাবে ফেস আউট করা আছে। দে উইল চার্জ ইউ এন্ড অফ দ্য ইয়ার। সাপোজ আপনি 40,000 মেক করার জায়গায় যদি 50 করেন, 60 করেন, তখন সেটা আবার অন দ্য আদার হ্যান্ডে যদি আপনি 40,000 মেক করার কথা বাট আপনি মেক করছেন 30,000 বা 25,000, তখন ইউ গেট ব্যাক অ্যাজ এন এক্সেস রিফান্ডের সাথে অ্যাড হয়ে যায় অ্যাজ এ এই রিফান্ডটা সাবসিডিটা সেটা ব্যাক করে ওবামা কেয়ার ইয়ের মাধ্যমে 1040 তে সেটা আপনার রিফান্ডের সাথে অ্যাড হয়ে যায়। তো দিস ইজ ভেরি ইম্পর্টেন্ট থিং অ্যাকচুয়ালি। এই কস্ট শেয়ারিং বিষয়টা নিয়েই সবার কোশ্চেন থাকে যে what is the income limits that Mr. Bruce, that's the next question. What is the income limits to apply for Obamacare?
Well, it's according, again, remember, it's according to the number of people in the household. So to give an example, there's a minimum also, you can't make under, for a single person, you can't make under 13,000 or you won't even qualify for Obamacare. For a husband and wife, 17,000. But when we get to the plans, Shimon, if that's okay with you, I actually ran a couple of examples. So with different incomes. Under my name, if they were able to put my phone number and my email address, that would be great. I would greatly appreciate that. I appreciate the whole support. This whole thing's going great. Whoever's behind it, they're doing a great job. FBTV, I commend you.
Here's a question just came in. It's thank you. Actually, on Facebook Live, I would like to take one moment to read those guests. Actually, all the friends and viewers. Actually, and here right now we have with us. Oh, it's a huge list. Dolly Ahmed, Ekem Hauladar, Annie Sultana, Mr. Monowar Sentu. Oh, I can see all. Mr. Shahin Kumar Bishash, Shahin Bishash. Yes. Maya Shinoy, I know her also. She used to be pharmacy tech at Walgreens. I think she's your client. Milan Kadri, Rahat Amin. Now Masud Sujan, Sahadat Hussain, everyone is there. Wow, very good to see all of them. They are watching. This is a very important thing because we're coming up a important question about the vaccine, which is very related, but it's going to be later on because we are right now covering up the cost sharing and subsidies. Now we're going to go to another one question. Actually, just arise, brother, Mr. Rahat. He just asked, "Hello, Mr. My brother never worked here. I claim her in my tax return as my dependent. She is actually my mother. My bad. Sorry. She is a permanent resident." And her age is less than 65. Do you think she will be qualified for Obamacare?
It's not, do I think? It's not, do I think? She does qualify for Obamacare because it's under household income. One thing I commend in your community, it's such a beautiful thing that you don't see that as often in America, but the young people, when they're young, the parents take care of them. And as they get older and their parents get older, then it's their turn and they end up taking care of their parents. So a good portion of my clients actually have their parents living with them and they are supporting them. So they are eligible for Obamacare. Yes, that gentleman, if his mom is on his tax return, you are both going to qualify for Obamacare for full benefits.
And actually, thank you so much. This is our culture. If you see the subcontinental culture is like that, and we are proud of it, and we like to continue this way. Actually, now we're gonna go to the next question. Actually, which plans qualify for cost sharing?
Oh, very important. So a lot of times people will call up the marketplace themselves, or they try to do it themselves, or maybe they go to someone maybe not so experienced. And I see it all the time, and it really bothers me. So they'll go on either a bronze plan, or they might even go on a gold plan. So they're going to pay a lot more money for less benefits, because the only plan that qualifies for cost sharing is a silver plan. So to give you an example, someone might be able to get a silver plan and pay $20 a month with a zero deductible. But they get a zero deductible because of cost sharing. But instead, they buy a gold plan and they might be paying $80 a month and with a $1,000 deductible. Because it's a mistake. If you get cost sharing, you will only get cost sharing on a silver plan. That's an excellent question, Shimon. Thank you for asking it.
Actually, this is those kind of questions actually comes up. People, we don't have a lot of information actually. What happened? People Google it and they try to call marketplace, and I've seen many times they get insurance, but when they go to the hospital, out of pocket max or you name it, all these benefits, they're paying a good amount and a high amount, but the benefits not there. Whereas some people get better benefit just having the silver plan. So thanks for explaining all this. Now the next question I would like to ask you, that what can we do to get ready before open enrollment? Like only a few days left, November 1st. So what kind of thing we can do to get prepared for the open enrollment?
Well, I can only tell you for myself, I actually emailed all my clients, and I have thousands of them. And I want to make sure, this is what you want to make sure. You want to make sure that your income is the same as last year. If not, you have to update your income. You want to check your address. What if you move? You want to update your new address. And then you might have dependents, like the young man. Maybe his mom just came from Bangladesh and now she's dependent, so you want to update that. So go ahead, even if it's not me, whoever you're working with, please touch base with them. Make sure that whatever information they have is correct information.
Since you mentioned this one, I have to tell you that middle of the year, when we start doing filing taxes, like February, March, April, May, you name it, sometimes we see that the insurance agent who has done it the previous year, they are no longer, or they're not accepting call, or somehow they don't. So those kind of things, they are looking for someone reliable who is, they can get in touch when they're. So this kind of thing, if someone has done previous year and they don't have insurance and they are under the special enrollment thing, so do you think you can take care of them also, as long as they don't have insurance, they're under the special?
Well, right now it's going to be open enrollment, so anyone, I can put anyone in right now. It's funny. I'm going to tell you a little example. You were talking about what makes me different. This week alone, okay, and what is today? Today's only Tuesday, all right? I'm talking about from Sunday. I've had 11 separate calls of people that needed their 1095 because they were doing late tax returns, and they still have the tax. They didn't have the 1095 from last year. I'm able to go directly in, get them the 1095 instead of them waiting a month to get it in the mail.
This gentleman actually asked, one gentleman, Mr. Ali, my income is 20,000 a year. Can I get Obama insurance? Actually, you have answered, as long as more than 13,000 and single, if they're single, they can enroll it. And
wait. Ask him if he's single or married. Ask him, does he have?
He did not actually mention it. I would like to, if you, Mr. Ali, you can mention it on the comments, that if you are single or how many family members you have it in your household. That way we can better answer this question actually. We're going to move forward to the next question because the time limit is 1 hour. We have very important few questions actually coming out right now. What is the, actually this is, I explained a little bit, but I would like to hear from you. What is the tax form 1095A?
So what happens is everyone that's on the marketplace will get a 1095A. They, some people, it just doesn't get to them. My clients, I supply them all for them. Anyone that doesn't get one, I supply it. But Sumon, I think you, who actually work with the taxes all the time, you'd be able to explain what you have to do with the 1095 for your tax return. Because if you do a tax return, well, I'd rather you be the professional. You tell them.
So 1095A is a very important document. Last 5 years, I can say 4 or 5 years, I've seen that a lot of people are waiting for the refund. I will explain in Bengali also. আমাদের community যা হয় tax return submit করার পরেও they don't get the refund. তারা রিফান্ডের জন্য ওয়েট করতে থাকে. But basically 2 থেকে 3 মাস পরে IRS send them a letter that you didn't file 1095A, or sometimes they have a multiple 1095A. হয়তোবা তার বাবার জন্য বা অন্য কোনো ডিপেন্ডেন্টের জন্য চেঞ্জ হয়েছিল, তো মাল্টিপল অনেক সময় 2-3টাও থাকে, আপনি যদি শুধুমাত্র একটিও সাবমিট করেন, আপনার যদি 2টি থাকে, তাহলেও আপনার রিটার্নটা প্রসেস হবে না, ইউ নট গোনা গেট দ্য রিফান্ড। মোস্ট অফ দ্য টাইম রিফান্ডের ক্ষেত্রেই তারা হোল্ড করে রাখে। তো দ্যাটস ওয়াই 1095A is very very important. You have to have that form like W2s, like W2 form, সেম থিং আপনার 1095A ও আপনাকে সাবমিট করতে হয়। বেসড অন দ্যাট তারা আইআরএস রিটার্নটাকে প্রসেস করে। We're gonna move on to the next question, which is, can I stay? Which is the right now the basic important question we're gonna come up to. Can I stay with the current doctor? Like they have a doctor, they like it, and they want to stick with that. They don't want to change the insurance. So how can I stay with the same doctor? Which is my question actually.
Sure, not at all. So I actually have a link. So when I do my comparisons, I will ask for any doctors that you want to make sure it's a network. I include that when I do my comparison to make sure whatever plan I show you will have that doctor network. Now, don't get me wrong. Not all plans have all the same doctors. I mean, most of the people right now are on Ambetter in South Florida. I am the top producer in Ambetter, so I can never say anything bad. They've been great to me, but this year for South Florida, they're not competitive. So their premiums are all going to be very high, and I have companies that are going to replace it all. So at that time, we're going to want to make sure whatever doctors they use in Ambetter, if they still like that doctor and want to use them and can't afford it, you're going to get them in the mail. Some of these premiums went up $100, $200 a month. We'll make sure that whatever plan we put you in, we'll have that doctor. If we can't find that doctor, we'll find someone that's just as capable. But yes, that's the answer.
So how do I buy Obamacare health insurance outside of open enrollment? If someone wants to buy.
We actually discussed that. That's when you would get a special enrollment.
That's the special, okay.
It's very easy.
So
yeah.
What I mean by that, if someone interested, actually they have insurance, they don't want to continue, they have to qualify. So without the special enrollments, if someone wants to just to get the suppose I'm talking about a businessman who doesn't have a job. I'm sorry.
Let
Can
me
you hear me?
explain why. A lot of people ask me, let me explain why. And do me a favor, translate this in Bengali too, okay? After this interview, I'm going to have to start going to night school, learning Bengali myself. Okay, so reason they do this, and it makes sense, is an insurance company could not stay in business if they didn't have only a special time to enroll. Because since they don't have pre-existing, people would wait until they got sick, and then they would just go buy the insurance because there's no pre-existing, it has to cover you. So the way the insurance company does it, and then what would happen is, think about it. The only people that would have insurance are the very sick people. So the only way they can do it is do it during an open enrollment period, the 6 weeks. So everyone goes on it. So they have a pool of not only very sick, but also people that might not be as sick and not use it as much.
I would like to cut it short because I came to the very important section. What actually I'm waiting for it, and before we do that, we have discussed that gentleman was asking for, he has a 20,000 income and 4 dependent. Actually, he just posted in right now. Can he get a health Obamacare insurance? He has 4 dependent and he's making 20,000.
Okay, you should have that gentleman call me privately, and we'll work it out. I don't want to, give any personal information, just like that. Because I have to tell you, some people don't realize the actual adjusted gross income. So, he's very close. So that's why it's best for him to call me, and we'll make sure they get insurance.
As I want to tell our viewers, actually, this is actually very we're discussing about the health insurance, but if individual has an individual issue, this is why we are providing his phone number. If you don't mind, the phone number is 561, Mr. Bruce, 561 300 6612.
6612.
Exactly. Call him
Correct.
personally, and your dependent and your income, mention it. And if you can, the good thing will be if you can submit send your tax return copy, because a lot of time we don't know what is AGI, adjusted gross income. Based on adjusted gross income and the household income, the Obamacare insurance, we can find out whether he can find out whether you are eligible or not. So next question, actually, we're gonna go to.
You can just call me and we'll work right over the phone. Thank you.
Exactly. The next question is very important. Every year we have seen Molina, Coventry, Embedder. What are the best plans in South Florida, which is Broward, Miami, Palm Beach, the most clients you have? If you don't mind, spend some time to explain what is the best plan.
Okay. For this, I think I'm going to have to put my glasses on. I'm not as young as I used to be, okay? So I did all my due diligence, and I did all the comparison of the plans. And I'm going to give you an example. And Shimon, if you want to stop me at any time and translate, please feel free. So let's start from the south and go up, okay? So if you live in Dade County, and let's say you're 30 years old, and you're earning $13,000 a year, the new company, it's not new, but Bright Health would be the number one company. And believe it or not, your premium would only be $18.81. And this plan even includes dental. Yes, for the adult, it includes dental, free x-rays, free exam, free cleaning. Okay, now, if you're married, and let's say you're 30, and your wife is 25, and you're making household income $20,000 a year, your premium will be $27.69 with the same plan, with all the dental too. Okay, and one
Mr.
thing
Bruce,
I always like to make, yes,
just want to.
yes, sir.
যারা মায়ামি ডেড কাউন্টিতে আছেন তাদের জন্য ইন্স্যুরেন্স বলছেন, যদি সিঙ্গেল হন 13,000 এর মতো ইনকাম থাকে তাহলে $18, এবং তার সাথে এই যে ইন্স্যুরেন্সটার কথা বলছে উইথ ইটস ইনক্লুডিং দ্য ডেন্টাল, আই হ্যাভ নেভার সিন ইট বিফোর, এটা ডেন্টালটাও কভার করে। এবং হোয়াট ইজ দ্য নেম অফ দ্য ইন্স্যুরেন্স কোম্পানি? Bright Health.
Yes, and I've already had
my
discussions. Yes, I've had all the discussions with the executives there, all ready to go. And I can tell you the reason they include on this one the health is they feel that your teeth and your mouth is the beginning to keeping good health.
We're gonna move on to the next Broward because we have a lot to cover. What about the Broward?
Okay, before we do that, let me tell you real quick. I'll talk fast. If it's in Dade, if you're married and you're 30, it's just an example. Your wife's 25, you're making $20,000. The same plan would be only $27.69 for both of you. Hospitals that are in network: Jackson Memorial, University of Miami, Coral Gables. So the good hospitals. Let's now go to Broward. Okay, we're working our way up north. Excuse me?
Can I stop you for 1 second? 1 second.
Yes. Yes.
I have a quick question actually. As we know, in FAU and FIU, we have a lot of Bangladeshi students, and as well as different Indian students. So Obamacare students, they can also apply for the Obamacare also, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yes, I have many graduate students from India, from Bangladesh, from a lot of international students. Okay. Now we're going to work our way up to Broward County. Okay. So the same 30-year-old gentleman making $13,000 a year, his insurance with the same company, because I figured this is going to be the best for Dade and Broward. I did all my comparisons. He'd be paying $22.43. Now, that is a plan of dental. If you want the same plan with the dental, it's only $3 more. It'd be $25.63. Okay? A married couple, if the husband's 30, wife's 25, now they're making $20,000, it's only $34.50. Hospitals in network with Bright Health in Broward, Northwest Medical, West Boca, Broward Health. They have a contract with all the tenant hospitals. Plantation Hospital, yes, Cleveland Clinic. Okay? Now let's go to Palm Beach County. Okay? Palm Beach County, Cigna is actually going to be the #1 company. Now, one thing great, the only companies I'm showing you, no HMOs. These are EPOs, okay? That means no referrals. So, in Palm Beach County, if you're 30 years old, making $13,000, Cigna would be $20,000. But you also have Oscar Health, which is only $25. I said $20,000. I'm so sorry. $20 a month. Or you have Oscar Health. Oscar is a company that was founded by the owner of Alphabet, which owns Google, and Fidelity and Goldman Sachs. They got $1.6 billion, 600,000, and it's a big company now. And in-network hospitals for Oscar, they also have a contract with tenants. So you've got West Boca, Delray Medical, Northwest Medical Center, JFK, Holy Cross, Joe DiMaggio. Joe DiMaggio, just so you know, is one of the #1 pediatric children hospitals in the country. People fly in from all over the world, children, to go to Joe DiMaggio. And Good Samaritan.
We have in Wellington.
I'm sorry?
We have one in Wellington. They just opened up.
Yes, they are a branch. You're correct. Cigna doesn't have a contract with tenant, so they have Boca Regional Hospital, Wellington, Cleveland Clinic, also Joe DiMaggio, Memorial Hospital, and Jupiter Medical.
So, I would like to. I think,
please.
Mr. Bruce, because of the time limit, what I was trying to tell you, because it's a lot to cover, but what is the important thing I would like to share? Two things actually. In last April, I had, I was sick, so I thought I have a COVID. So, I go through a lot, very well, and we ended up that it was not COVID-19. So what I have seen actually, I was talking to you, if I would have a doctor, instead of going to the doctor to get a azithromycin or test or, any, so if I would have a virtual doctor, which has become very popular, does the Obamacare and this new plans will cover this? The virtual doctor?
Right now, they all do, it's called virtual doctor. Oscar is very, very big on that. So what Oscar's doing is, if you do, you're gonna have your own team. If you do a virtual doctor, that doctor will answer your call within 15 minutes. So you can be home, you could be at work, you could be in a shopping center, okay? You can do it on your phone, on your laptop. Now, this is the important thing. The visit itself is free. If the doctor refers you a drug, the drug, if it's tier 1 and 2, will also be free. If the doctor suggests you need a diagnostic test or blood work, most of diagnostic tests and the blood work will be free. If the doctor recommends you to a specialist, your first visit to the specialist will be free. So, let's face it, the guy that started it, if he's from Google or from Alphabet, they're very high into technology, and that's why they're doing all this.
Mr. Bruce, I would like to wrap it up because with the airtime, all these things, it's a huge thing. The health insurance thing, it's not a small matter. We have to discuss more. I know you'll be slammed in the first week or second week or even the third week, but I would love
The
to
whole lot.
get you more back again to FBTV to explain more if you have more times in the middle of the session. We don't know how it's going to be. And the last question I would ask you, which is very important, the COVID-19 going on, the vaccine hopefully coming next year sometimes. So how this thing will, if we have an insurance, if you don't have insurance, how this thing will work when vaccine comes in?
I can't talk about not having insurance, but if you have insurance right now, you're not paying anything if it has to do with COVID-19. The insurance companies are paying all the bills, okay? And, I guess we really don't have the time, but I would like to maybe come back, and there's something so important within the community that we need to speak about, because I have more and more people calling me about whole life insurance and term. And the whole life, most people call me because they want to make sure they have an investment for when they retire, that they'll have money for the rest of their lives. So if Sumon, you'd love to invite me back, we can do a whole series on just life insurance. But right now I'm going to be
Mr.
busy
Bruce
for
Green.
now.
Thank you so much for your time. I know it. Thank you so much for your time. What the time we spent. We do have some more questions. So what happened actually from FBTV? We'll request them to directly, get back to those answer to those people. We cannot cover all these things. Our time is up. So we'd like to see you again, and we wish you a very healthy and a safe open enrollment season. Would you like to say your last word?
Yeah, my last words are stay safe and be
Thank you
well.
so much, Mr. Bruce Green.
Thank you.
We'll see you
Thank you for having
again.
me.
Thank you. সবাইকে ধন্যবাদ, এবিটিভির পক্ষ থেকে সবাইকে ধন্যবাদ। আমরা আবার আসবো কোনো এক সময়, হয়তো অন্য কোনো বিষয় নিয়ে। ধন্যবাদ।